Hello, it's day 2 of practicing about leadership in SLC as a preparation for incoming SLT. So by the way, good evening, good day, good afternoon, and good everything in whenever you whatever time you're watching this video. So, so ang topic tayo na to is about leadership and ganiha just earlier I realized that the more specific topic is about active listening. So I'm gonna talk about active listening and as a reflection of an activity known as catch the mistake. So the game is all about catching the mistake, because that's the title. So there's a story to be given, and then you're gonna follow the story, and then you're gonna watch for it, which part of the story is the mistake, because that's the point of the game, catching the mistake. And so it's about active listening, right? So I'm gonna talk about active listening. So before I've started this, I've actually watched a YouTube video about active listening. So here's what I found. So active listening is the easiest way to connect with people, because the people wants to listen, wants to be heard of. So if you are there genuinely hearing and you are actually listening, you're gonna use active listening, you're actively listening, you're gonna feel heard. And that's one of the key characteristic of a leader, the one who actually listens. That's a real leadership skill. So, and then it's also, there's this active listening is very different from passive listening, because passive listening is just about just being there, and the message was heard but not understood. You don't understand, but like the information goes through your one ear and then it comes through the other ear. It doesn't really add up, right? By the way, in this video I forgot to make a house, so I have to make 2 houses in the next video. Alright, well, no one's watching it anyway, so but if there's someone watching out there, please subscribe. Alright, yeah. So it's a completely different listening type if you compare it to the passive listening. And passive listening is actually easier, but it's not very good, because it's just passively listening and you're not actually understanding. And then I found out that there's the prerequisites or co-requisites when you want to actively listen. So this is the number 1. First is you have to commit. You have a commitment, like you're gonna put down your phone, you're gonna put down the things that you're doing, you're gonna stop it, because you have to commit to listening. If you want to actively listen, actually you have to commit towards listening. So that's one, and that's basically a choice. You have to choose to listen. Okay, and then number 2 is practice. So the 4 qualities. So when you are practicing, there according to the video, there's 4 qualities of 4 main qualities of practicing. I don't really know how should I say it, but there's 4 qualities. Then what I've written here is about number 1 is non-verbal. When you practice, you're gonna show to them that you're actually listening. Like you put down your phone, you stop what you're doing. That's the non-verbal way. There's 2 ways of non-verbal. The first thing is that you show them that you're actually listening, and then the second thing on the non-verbal cue is to look at what their facial expression. They gonna look like, they might look sad, so you're gonna assess the conversation, that what they feel about that. They might surprise, they might act surprised, so you're gonna work through that as well, that they're being surprised, so you have to, you know. And then the verbal emotion, so it's about asking good questions. So you're talking and all. So basically, so active listening is not just about listening, it's also asking about the right questions. Okay, then let them answer. If they answer it, you're gonna actually follow, you're gonna actually listen to what they're actually saying, not just passively listening. You're actually gonna listen and understand, try to understand everything that you can understand and what they're saying. So then the small utterances, yeah, if they're talking and you just gonna yeah, yan na ito, mga small utterance. And then give informed response. So, na siya, so, for example, na siya, oy, di kan pa ko dito naligo dagat, nindot pagka dagat dito, kanang murag naminaw juga ba, well connected to what they just said, not just any random things nga masusimot na diretso. Dapat kung sige ngo niya murag mo connected Japon something. Okay, then ask follow-up questions. Kinday na kayo mga pangutana. Ay, hindi mga pangutana. Nasa pangingon, nasa statement. Yung paminawon niya. Mangutana ka, about ana. To show that your interest. Pangutanan din mo ka lang. Kanara po mga questions nga. Actually, gikuan po ka. Interested po ka. Curious po ka ng kuan. Makaibaw. Then, there's one thing that you have. No, it's not one thing, but it's a thing that you shouldn't do. Look at them blankly. Ningon sila, nasa sila istorya, and then you just stare at them blankly without any expression. Don't do that, because it just doesn't feel that. You just feel that you don't hear the person. It's not very convincing or something like that. You have to respond to what they just said. Yeah. Then decide it to be all about other person. So, kung nasa gingon about sa gingon, mora po yung gingon about nila, ang imong istoryahan, yung may lang topic. And then pure active listening. So dapat maminaw ka active listening. That's all that I've written down as my notes just now. I think I can expand more on this, but there's more. Yeah, I can add more because it's only 8 minutes and the video goes have to go to up to 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes in order to make it a longer video. So it's actually past 12 already. So I've nadugay kong himuan kay istorya pa sa kauban boarding house. Nalingaw po, kabantay sa oras mga to. And then I just found out that my time allocation in the SLC is just about 10 minutes. So I can actually practice it. It's actually doable if I just practice it every day, like this one. Like right now, I'm practicing it, what to say. I just need actually what to say. As long as I know what to say, it's fine. And now I'm actually gonna say about, since it's a reflection. So actually I don't know how to reflect in this, but I'm gonna find out that. I'm gonna look for it, how to. What is reflection? It's getting philosophical now, but you get the point. I'm gonna practice more in order to learn to actually know what I'm doing, because that's the professional excellence part of the leadership. You have to know what you're doing. You have to actually know what you're doing, not just you know what you're doing, but what you're doing, we can see that you know what you're doing. So like what I said is how I'm there's I've been I've been feeling a lot of filler words. I've been using a lot of filler words. I noticed that. And what should I say about that? Yeah, it should add more anecdotes, right? So just earlier, or even at school, when you listen to your teacher very much, you listen actively, you can understand. And if the teacher asks you, you can actually answer. Just like in a real world scenario, as a being leader, if your constituents, your members as a leader will ask you a question, you can answer them, especially if you listen to them quietly, or not quietly, actively. Just listen to them actively, then you would know what's their concern. You would understand what their concern. They would feel that they are being heard. So that's the main goal, to make your your members feel being heard. Okay, so I have more minutes, and I don't know what to say more. So just listen actively, because that's actually underrated skill, because sometimes we forget to listen. We just talk a lot about ourselves. We talk about what we are interested about, but we forget to listen to the other person, and it doesn't really end up well, as usual, unless they ask you and they're actually interested. You're gonna share your thoughts, your what you want, unless if they're interested. If they're not interested, that like they don't ask you to answer them, you don't have to share. You just have to be curious towards them, because curiosity is the key to actually learning. Because when you learn, you're curious, you already know. So the more you listen, the more you know. The less you talk, the more you listen. So you're gonna wanna listen more towards the other person. But in this activity, since we just finished the game, the catching the mistake, it's literally actively listening. Because if you don't listen, you cannot answer you cannot answer the game. So it's about catching the mistake, and if you haven't listened, then you cannot catch the mistake. You don't get the points. So in this game is a reflection of our reality as a leader. Because in life, as a leader, life of a leader, you're gonna listen to your constituents. You're gonna listen to the environment. If you don't listen to them, you didn't listen, then you might fall behind, and that's not the worst case. Actually, people wouldn't trust you that much. People will tend to trust you if you listen to them, because they know that you are trusted, that they will listen to you when they need something. So that's how things work in this world. It's a reflection of our society, that we need to listen, to love more, to listen more. And actually that's all. I'm grateful that you watch all the way to the end, and thank you very much.